thus giving the first blow. However, he was no longer going at the speed he was going before when he was muscular. This one would go faster than the speed of light, where Goku could not perceive his attacks of the great Zeus, where he gave him a strong blow in his face. The spectators could not believe it. Goku was receiving the full blows that the great Zeus was giving him, where he was covering himself from the blows that the god Zeus was giving him. In his thoughts, "Wow, fantastic! I see he can get to do a little faster than me, but we won't take the credit away from him." When Zeus attacks again, Goku stops his fist and returns it to him with twice the intensity. Zeus is not far behind, where he quickly returns the fist again, and this time Goku teleports away, leaving his fighting side empty, where he leaves the whole audience somewhat confused. And even Zeus himself starts to spin around until... "What's up? I'm here!" Appearing in front of Zeus and kicking him in the stomach and throwing him far above the ring, he teleports back to give the final blow with full force. Zeus falls to the ring with many wounds, but we could still see the resistance he had. "But how is that possible?" Ares speaks. "If my father is faster than light, how could he not detect the presence of that being?" Ares was a little scared. Meanwhile, Zeus, somewhat weak, stood up again to go quickly to throw many bunches, and both began a fist war. They went on, and neither of them gave up. The power of the intensity of those punches increased as they continued to fight. "Not bad, but it makes no sense to keep fighting, because the god of the humans is more powerful than the god of all gods," mentions Brunhild's sister. It was really impressive. Zeus was getting to Goku's level, an oversight, and comes to a punch to Goku's face, scaring the audience. "I see you are very serious, old man. You even look like a grandfather," Goku says. But after the first punch, several punches start to arrive to his face and body without understanding why. Brunhild gets scared. Goku was not understanding why he could not respond to his attacks. "It can't be," Brunhild says with an alarming voice. "That old man just blocked Goku's combat points, which leaves him immobile for a period of time, and in that time Zeus will finish him off. It's impossible for him to get out of it. Damn it. We had already won the battle. Why did he have to get up?" While the blues continued, the human tribune could not believe it. They were finishing with their god. Zeus was only throwing punches in key points to paralyze Goku's body. That's why I didn't realize that this is the true deadly attack of the god, supreme tonic immobility. "Sister, it can't be. If he keeps this up, he's going to end up killing Goku. It can't be. I don't want to watch anymore," Brunhild's sister said, even as the blows Goku was receiving were weakening him. "I never thought I would find a way to defeat the god of humans," Brunhild says, when suddenly he receives as a final blow the axe kick for the 1000th time, this leaving Goku without consciousness. The people could not believe it. They could not assimilate what they had just done to their protector. "I knew it wouldn't last long with that technique of Dad's. I won't deny that I got to feel some fear for that human, but everything is solved," Ares said. The birds start to chant Zeus's victory. When they checked the ring, there was no Goku. "What? Again?" mentions the referee. Everyone surprised because they thought they were done with the being who called himself the protector of humans. "I see you caused some damage to my body. I won't deny the ability you had to block my moves." Goku was screaming, where everything began to shake. Several debris cracked. All the people were worried. They did not know what was happening. Even the gods, to see how the Saiyan warriors did not stop screaming, where he began to fly up to Colosseum to see a light shine with a strong intensity throughout the stadium. The clouds began to surround the Siren warrior. No one knew what was happening. To see a strong glow where everyone could not see for a few seconds. Everyone opened their eyes, and to be surprised to see the same warrior flying, but with a changed form. To see his blue hair, using phase 2 of the Super Siren God. But it was not the same as before. To see a tone of seriousness in his words, saying, "Sorry for the delay. This battle is magnificent." No one said anything. People were silent until Goku said to the great Zeus, "But that won't be enough for you to finish me off." Goku appeared in front of Zeus, staring at him. Zeus could not believe that he could see the speed that this boy had, but he did not realize that Goku was already hitting him in his face. C also gave him a kick in the stomach, where he barely dodged the attack that the Siren Warrior received. Does he also give him a blow in the face, but he dodged them and began to return the punches that the other had given him before. Quickly, Zeus began to attack the Siren Warrior, where multiple blows also did Son Goku. All the spectators to see the incredible battle could not be more amazed than they were. In the stands, "Elder, don't even think about losing this battle. You have to finish him," said Shiva, supporting Zeus, while elsewhere, "Unbelievable. Hey Hermes." "Yes, brother? Tell me what's going on." "I never imagined that a fight could be so beautiful." "It's true. You're so right." On the other side, "Dear sister, I can't stop crying anymore. Please, Son Goku, I hope you are well." Where the entire audience was transfixed watching the beauty of two warriors biting for their lives. The bite was so beautiful where the entire audience, if not all, as much as the gods and humans, were standing without even noticing it. On the battlefield, Zeus sent an axe kick to a Saiyan warrior's body. However, Goku saw it coming, so he dodged it and then kicked him in the back, thus launching him into the sky, and everyone saw how the Saiyan warrior flew quickly to where Zeus was, where he could not do anything, where he saw the Saiyan warrior who was above him, to see him give them tremendous blows as if it were a ping pong. In other places where everyone saw how Zeus could not move, where after seeing his muscles destroyed by the hard blows that the Siren Warrior gave him, he felt destroyed, where he was falling quickly in the ring, when Goku made the Kamehameha increase by 20 times the power, which surprised everyone. Ares and Hermes were very surprised by the power, but they were sure that Zeus would still get up, when from the sky they saw a flash that fell in the form of a star. It was Zeus falling with great speed, making a tremendous impact on the ring and destroying it completely. Nobody could believe what was happening. When the smoke from the fall vanished, they could see a defeated Zeus. Brunhilde and her sister, with their mouths wide open, could not deny the happiness seeing Goku win in front of Zeus. The gods could not believe it when they saw their gods standing on the floor, where they accepted the defeat with discomfort. Meanwhile, now, humans and gods, the winner of this second battle is Goku. The crowd with great joy accepted the triumph of Son Goku, as it was his first victory in this circle that they appropriated, in which you should never ever underestimate the legendary warrior, a warrior who overcame the very god destroyers. The time and the day has come to present an inhospitable in which all the gods could not believe it. The human who definitely finished was Zeus himself, the most powerful of all the Greek gods and the strongest. The presence of all this was really quiet. They could not witness any word between themselves, the gods, while the human race was already celebrating their first inhospitable victory among themselves. By that legendary warrior who ended his miserable life of that old man in his great presence, as it was the same Zeus who ran into him, but seeing out of the ring, but does not know where that warrior went. In the temple where Brunhilde and her sister were, he was celebrating for his great victory, since Zeus himself had died. Well, we have a victory won. We can still beat the corrupt gods. But as her magical cell phone rang, she had been quite surprised, while her little sister looked on in surprise, saying, "What's wrong, sis? Why the worried face?" To show the icon of her cell phone to her little sister and see Poseidon. Isn't it possible? The second brother next to his brother Zeus. Isn't it true, sister? Why him? Why the second strongest one has the fight? But her sister covered her mouth, saying, "There, dear sister, can't you stop saying so many words in your mouth, or else I'll end up cutting off your beautiful head." Those words frightened her own little sister, saying in her thoughts, "She sounds very sweet in her words and in her face, but she's scary. I'm scared." But someone hugged her from behind, saying, "Don't worry, she's always like that." To see her sister Valkyrie saying, "Are you your sister Chris?" "That's right, sis, it's me." To see her hug her tightly on her breasts and say, "How good that the second round has won the humans. I'm so happy to see there lots of disbelief in the gods see their departure of that old man so fast that I did not imagine seeing his death of the great Zeus." That's right, sister. It's a good thing that old man died, because if not, I didn't have the apple pie in my mouth. What a delight! Now that it's our turn to fight against Poseidon, the situation is a little rough. I don't know who I can put in. We need to win another round like that time with that warrior who killed Zeus. But who will I put in this round? But an unexpected voice said, "Please, can I come in?" Seeing the same guy who fought against the great Zeus. "But how did you get here?" said the little sister. "Well, I passed through the courtyards and I met you here." "And tell me, why did you come?" Brunhild said to the sign warrior. "I came for this," pointing to his stomach, implying that he is very hungry. "After the fight, I become very hungry. I'm starving." The Valkyrie sisters were surprised because they did not expect that comment from the god of humans. However, Brunhild would say thank you. "In that case, don't worry, Zion. The least I can do after defeating the most powerful god Zeus is to offer you a great banquet after your incredible battle. You more than deserve it." The banquet would not be long in coming quickly, where Goku in a second would start devouring the whole banquet desperately, until the younger Valkyrie would ask him, "And tell us, Son Goku, about your story. I'm very curious to know about the god of humans, the legendary warrior who surpassed the gods themselves," she would say, very excited. And then Goku would begin to tell them his whole story while he devoured the banquet. "Amazing! I love your story, Goku. It's really fantastic." "Thank you, little one." He said it with a smile, to see an icon sounding the alarm, saying, "Brunhild, we're out of time, and I don't know which person I can get to go to the third round." "I do." Listening, he saw that it was the same warrior. "But you already fought with the great Zeus. Don't you feel tired?" asked the younger sister of the Valkyries to the Siren warrior. "Don't worry, I still have plenty of strength and power to fight and defeat many gods." Those words motivated him to Brunhild and his sister Chris to see that motivation did not stop praising him more. In the battlefield, everything was insinuating who would be his new representative for the gods, while they were saying, "Look, for the third round they totally remodeled the platform. It's an ocean, but then the next fighter is going to be..." While on the battlefield, "Well, welcome to the third round of Ragnarok, the final battle against God and man. The gods have won their first victory, but just like the gods, also the human race won their first victory. Therefore, they're tied one against one, because it will be that the gods and humans will be ruthless one against one. However, that's what they do. That is to say, they will have to live or die. That is why it is a fight to the death." Then, dear gods and humans, after the fall of the great Zeus himself, they were restless for that unexpected death for their Greek god. That is why the gods want their revenge, and their revenge for having killed their powerful god. Who will represent the gods? Here comes their call. Thus causing the seas to shoot out like that to the big guy with yellow hair and his body covered with all blue. Therefore, he was with a bluish trench as well, where the referee was saying in his dialogue, "He is the one who is the second strongest of all the Greek gods. Then there would be this mighty one in the Emperor of the Seas, the Tyrant of the Oceans." All the gods were celebrating for his unexpected entrance of the mighty Poseidon. However, even the gods fear him for his fury, the most feared god of all. His name is Poseidon. All the people were silent. No one said a word about him until he said, "They're losers." He said it with an absolute cry, while the referee said, "Who would be such an idiot to take on the god of the seas? It is about this man," thus marking the other participant. "It is said that this man has not stopped training, and he is already coming for his second victory." Those words surprised the gods, even the humans. "Really? You don't say?" "That's right, no less than Goku." Those words made the human race celebrate, since they had their strongest human of all, even the most feared of all. The gods had an enormous fear against that warrior, but at that moment of starting a round, he presented new laws. "But what? It's not fair. From now on, you will have to use at least one weapon to be able to face the gods. Otherwise, the participant will be disqualified from the fights." "But they can't force such audacity," mentions Goku. The simple fact of having a light in his hands made the gods frown, since it was sacrificing a Valkyrie. He knew that the power of the gods was much more immense than the power of a Valkyrie, and by making end fight, they would lose their lives. Humans and gods, rules are rules, says the referee. But not to favor the gods, shouts Brunhild's sister. The humans did not understand why the change of attitude of their warrior fighter. They felt very worried, but they knew that the one they consider as their new god could easily defeat any opponent, even Poseidon himself, with a frivolous and compassionless look, somewhat irritated by life without possessing joy. Well, let's leave the crying aside and let's start with this great battle of humans and gods. Let's begin. And that's when the Valkyrie Chris gives her life to become Goku's staff, and without further compassion, the third battle of destruction began. Found already in the same ring, Poseidon does not think to give any initiative to start. Goku, eager to see him fall this time without showing any leakage of power, began with teleportation and stood behind Poseidon. But with all the skill of that god, turns to hit Goku with a swerve, stopping him with a staff, although he did not want to use it. It is said that Poseidon's sword can pierce any body that exists in all the galaxies, considered the most deadly weapon of all, without destroying itself. Do you think I can fall for the same little tricks you did with Zeus? With a smiling face and something far-fetched, Poseidon says to Goku, "It's a pity you chose a race so inferior to ours." But it's even more pitiful to be gods and seek the destruction of something you created. If so, they don't deserve to be called gods, but scum of entire galaxies. Goku goes running towards his opponent to start the fight with speed. Both weapons are classed with a unique power. The power of both blows can be visualized. Poseidon directs his gaze fixed towards Goku in order to exterminate him at once. The blows were intermittent. The speed that both had was impressive. Scarce time. You could see the bite that both are having.